my name is Jaleesa Jaikaran and I'm a New York City-based makeup artist. I would describe my style as bold, natural, and editorial.
I'm Honey and I'm an Ohio-based makeup artist. I would describe my style as ethereal, intricate, and multidimensional.
Hi, I'm Anastasia Dara. I'm a New York City-based makeup artist originally from Siberia, Russia. I would describe my style as creative, edgy, and raw.
You have 1 hour
to create a look
inspired by the following image.
Unicorn. I love it. Your looks will be photographed in an editorial photo shoot. I'm Jaleesa.
Yanis.
Nice to meet you. Are you excited?
Yes.
I'm so excited. All right, let's get started.
I'm going to start with prepping the skin and curling the lashes. Let's do it. So right now I'm mixing moisturizer with shiny highlighting product, Becca Backlight Priming. And I often use this trick to mix this primer with moisturizer and add some glow to my model's face.
I'm actually gonna do some baby hair, and I've never done baby hair on anyone else but myself, so girl, don't be mad at me. So I'm using pomade to lay the baby hairs down. I'm actually gonna tie this down after. When you do baby hairs, they kind of lift. So this is gonna help keep it down.
What I'm gonna be using will be falling everywhere, and I'll pop this under so it can catch it all. So I'm starting with P. Louise makeup base. They come in like pre-done colors. This is blue, it's called Touch of Frost.
So this image of the unicorn has very specific colors, and I used some of these colors as a base. I like to work with bold colors and with textures. I must admit, every time I do a creative project like that, I don't really know what's gonna be my final look. I didn't come to the final makeup look yet. I'm coming there right now with all of you guys.
My typical style is always very multidimensional, so adding a lot of different textures really makes everything look a lot less flat, which is something I always like to play with. I noticed in the picture that the unicorn had like wings essentially, and they were like blue velvet, and my eyes went there first, so I'm putting that first on the eyes. And it's supposed to be just a wing essentially.
So I didn't use any physical things like unicorn horns or anything like that, because anytime I take inspiration from something, I never want it to be literal. I love my makeup to look natural with a splash of color. So the rhinestones, the iridescence, it just adds an extra touch. I'm like from the Caribbean, I'm from Trinidad. So anytime I get an excuse to use color, I'm gonna take it.
I'm going to cover the eyebrow with the Prosade paste. And oh my God, you're right. So always open your glue jar before you apply moisturizer. You might see how drag queens use just glue stick to mask and block their eyebrows. I prefer Prosade because it gives more accurate result. I'm using a disposable spoolie and a metal spatula. I would never apply Prosade with a brush because first of all it would kill the brush. You'd never be able to clean the brush, and also brush is too soft for Prosade. Right now I'm hesitating because I might want to see the texture of the brows through the paint. I don't want her to look like she shaved her brows. So
it's a Pegasus. it's definitely a Pegasus, and I wanted to say it, but that's not my business.
I use pencil to apply, and I use brush to blend it and smudge it a little bit.
So I'm going in with some cosmetic glue, and then I'm going to be putting on a mixture of flocking powder and glitters. Flocking powder is essentially just velvet in like powder form. I'm going like section by section so that make sure that the glue doesn't like dry by the time I make it to the other half of the eye.
So this palette is the Elsa palette from Beauty Creations. You're like, what do I do with an Elsa palette? So when I'm going for this type of look, I would choose shimmery shadows, sort of that have a frost finish. For this, I wanted to look very pearlescent.
I'm going to do like this negative stencils on her forehead, and now I want to figure out which one I'm going to use. I've done 3 different shapes. This element represents a horn of a unicorn. I think this one. I decided to do this negative space as more like an allegorical element, as a symbol of a unicorn, because making like a real horn is something that's probably more like a festival outfit or a stage look than an editorial makeup, I'd say. I started as a body painter, actually. I grew up in Siberia. We didn't have creative makeup. When I lived in Moscow for a bit, I discovered so many amazing professional products.
I think when it comes to like doing makeup on like other people versus yourself, time really is the biggest difference. If I'm in my basement alone, usually I can take as long as I want. But on a model, you know, I wouldn't even expect them to want to sit here for 6 hours if I asked them to.
Anastasia, we're 30 minutes in.
What? No, I'm not talking to you anymore.
Oh my God, we're halfway through. I have so much things to do still. So I'm using Anna's palette. I didn't even know Anna was Elsa's sister. Oh my God. Really? Is she cute?
Every time I use new color, I take new brush. If I use a color that's close to the one I used, so I can just use the same brush. Let's reveal our metaphorical horn.
So I'm gonna take this off.
Ta-da.
Did it work? Did it work?
Right? So we just see her skin through the paint.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, I can rock with it.
I'm not going to use any mascara, by the way. I don't want to use mascara because this is more like editorial look, and sometimes no mascara looks cooler.
Where's my lash glue though, you know?
Right there.
Be like that. Girl, wow, you're hired. Assistant. I fan the lash just like to make sure the glue is really tacky. So when I stick it on, it's not too wet essentially. I have this Tarte concealer. I just love Tarte concealer, Shape Tape. And LA Girl has like these mixing pigments. Essentially, if you want to make a product more yellow or more orange, you add it in. I think they're good for every kit. I hate time limits. Does time really exist though? Like, do I really have 2 minutes? Okay, now I'm going in with these really tiny rhinestones, essentially. Swarovski has these. I think they're made for nail art, but art is art, so. Typically, I'd use like a crystal katana, which is like a little tool for applying crystals, but since these are so tiny, I go in with a big brush applied with lash glue, essentially.
This is called Crystal Katana. This is a tool for people who work with Swarovski crystals.
So I'm not applying these rhinestones symmetrically at all. I just kind of want to apply it wherever I feel like it's not going to be even at all. Stay on, girl.
You want the most funny story about bedazzling? I was hired to bedazzle a woman's vagina once. So we didn't see anything, any details obviously, but I needed to bedazzle this area and cover her entire area with crystals. Trust me, that was weird.
I'm gonna do a little bit of a soap brow thing, which has been kind of trendy lately, but it's great for getting a nice good stick. Water and soap, giving her a bath.
Yeah, but do I want it? I was trying to figure out if I wanted blush, but because she's gonna be wearing colored lashes, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot, sis.
When I'm working with like dramatic eye looks, I always tend to make sure the brows and skin look really natural because I don't want anything to be overwhelming or kind of take away from what the focus of the look is.
I would do powder last just because it sets everything and you can't really like go back from there. So if I had add powder in the beginning, it would have been a mess for me to fix.
Whew. I think I only got 5 minutes left and I got to hurry.
So for highlighter, I'm just going in with glitter, the good stuff. I like skin to look like skin. Like if they have freckles, I want that to shine. If they have moles, you know, I'll draw it back on if I have to.
I'm adding a little bit of white primer to her lashes because I am going to take a bit of color and add it on her eyelashes. So these lashes are demi wispies. I made them by using liquid lipstick, a little bit of eyeshadow.
I'm applying the lip gloss. I wanted this look very glossy and still very clean.
I am adding a little bit more gloss to the look just because I think it'll photograph really nicely.
I really like glitter gloss, but I hate when I can like feel the glitter on my lips. So it's like I ate a sand sandwich or something. I just made one that had a pigment instead. It's like a holographic glitter pigment. This is my holy grail product. It's Danessa Myricks Dew Wet Balm. It's a gloss for your skin.
I'm gonna run off set.
My very final seconds I'm going to spend to blend these colors and to make the transition more like kind of dreamy.
Okay. All right, done.
Oh, I think we did it. Yay. Well, we'll see in the picture.
Are you ready for your pictures?
Okay, let's go.
Hi, Sarah.
I'm Anastasia. Nice to meet you, Sarah.
Oh, cool. All right, gorgeous. Oh, wow, that's gorgeous. Oh, that's nice. That's gorgeous right there. Okay.
It's nice.
Oh my God, I love
beautiful.
it.
That one is cute.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see the finals.
Yes. Thank you so much. Your work is so beautiful.
Love you.
So
Thank you.
fun.
Do you guys want to see the looks? Oh my God,
I would like
yes.
to.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I would like to see
I would love to see
this. Like nerve-wracking. Like I'm scared.
I know.
Wow.
Oh my God.
These are all really good.
I love it.
Oh
That
my
blue
God,
is
that's
life.
so cool. I love that we have Swarovski.
And they're all in different spots too. Yeah, I like that.
When I looked at the picture, I thought of like heavenly, ethereal, like I wanted it to feel very fresh but still fun. Yeah. I wanted it to be like soft but still with color.
Did you paint the lashes in advance?
Yeah, I like did a bunch of them, like a pink one, and just because I wasn't sure which one, but I went for the purple. The first thing I did is I swooped the baby hairs. Because I wanted to use rhinestones. I wanted to just put it on like by the hairline and just use like glowy products on the cheeks and just keep everything very fresh.
Okay, so what I first noticed in the picture was the wings on the unicorn, aka the Pegasus. But essentially, I noticed texture and color first, and that blue and that texture really just got me. And then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do a literal winged eyeliner on her, make it baby blue and keep that velvet texture. What makes it different from like a regular matte is that it feels like a plush toy, so it really felt like right at the moment. I think pink and baby blue go really well together, and they look great on her skin tone. And then it was just a matter of keeping her nice and glowy and fresh and feeling pretty.
To me, unicorn is this magical creature, and I really wanted to be inspired by this unicorn, but I didn't want it to look like looks some people created before us. Like unicorn is such a common inspiration because all the festivals, Coachella and the rainbows, right? So I wanted to create something like in this world, but very different. So that's why I kind of left this blank skin symbolizing the place of the horn. Like
that's really nice. I love that idea.
And I added Swarovski crystals because I love it.
They look like studs. I really like them.
Being creative is it's like like having this urge to create something that comes from your heart. And that's the beauty about the makeup artistry, that because every makeup artist had their own like
ideas.
Yeah, exactly.
And like it's never one size fits all.
Yeah.
Look. We all did unicorn, but they're all so different. I really like seeing crystals become like really popular in makeup because it really shows that makeup has so many dimensions to it, that it's not just like cream, powder, and that's all you have.
Yeah.
You really can just apply whatever.
Yeah.
That is exactly.
If you got lash glue, if it'll stick.
Right? I even put like one on my nose sometimes, and people are like, did you pierce your nose? I'm like, yeah, I did.
Would you guys do this again?
Of course, I would. Definitely, I would do this again.
Yeah.
Is that an invitation?